We are back with Glenn Beck talking about an inconvenient book. The chapter you call Political Games caught my eye. Yeah. You basically, essentially argue that what's going on in Washington is a big game of Monopoly. Everyone's trying to get as much power, as much money as possible.
Yep.
Hasn't it always been that way, though?
Oh, I think what happened is we used to have some differences. You know what I mean? People used to stand for something.
No longer.
I mean, look, I'm a conservative. I'm not a Republican. I could give a flying crap about the elephant. I cared more about the elephant that almost strangled you to death in the water. I mean, I was like, look at that elephant. It is great and powerful, too. Run, Anderson, run. The other elephant, I don't care about. And I don't think most Democrats care about the donkey, or they shouldn't. Because these guys have taken us, both the left and the right, the Republicans and the Democrats, have made us stop talking to each other. Because, oh, that's got to be a dope-smoking liberal hippie over there that just wants to take us to the Soviet Union, and that guy over there wants to starve our children.
But you get accused of being part and parcel of that, of being on talk radio and being divisive.
Of course I do. But if you actually listen to what I say...
Well, I don't do that.
I know. If you actually listen to what I say... I fully disclose that I am a conservative. I come from a conservative point of view. But there isn't anybody who has hammered the Republican Party harder and longer as somebody who voted for George Bush than me. When George Bush made that turn and started giving us prescription drugs and everything else, I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I could get this from the Democrats, and at least they'll tell me they're going to give me this.
It's interesting, though, because, you know, on TV, we watch people swap wives on reality TV shows, but an actual swapping of ideas, genuine discussion, is not something we're really encouraged to engage in by our politicians or by the media.
But see, that's part of, I think, the political correctness. The idea, if I make them hate you and you make them hate me, then I don't have to really come up with a solution, because I'll say it's their fault.
Right.
And they can say it's my fault. And so we don't have to have any solutions. And that's why we're getting nowhere when America just wants solutions. The other thing is, Anderson, and I think this is very clear, you look at John Murtha. I mean, here are the Democrats who have told us that they were going to stop the war, and I can give them that one, that they couldn't get that one done. Okay. But they were going to be the most ethical. And they were going to cut all this pork spending and all of this.
The earmarks.
Yeah, the earmarks. Yeah, they're going to cut. We're going to stop all that. There was, I'm watching, I know, hello, my name is Glenn, I'm a loser. I'm watching C-SPAN one day. And I look up and I see Murtha on the floor. And he actually tells another congressman, if you block this, you will never get another earmark in your district ever again. And I thought, what happened to the most ethical group of people? And you know what? You can't solve it by putting the Republicans in, because the Republicans will do the same damn thing.
We went around trying to call every member of Congress, every member of the Senate, trying to get them to disclose their earmarks. Like a handful of them would do it. None of them would do it.
Why? You know what? Because they don't think they answer to us anymore. They don't think they need to answer. They need to go back. You know, Anderson, the best thing that happened to me in the last year that really shows me how genius our founding fathers are. I'm, you know, thinking about all the crazy, you know, black helicopter, we're all going to die kind of thoughts that I usually entertain myself in my off hours. And I'm walking down the streets of New York, and I stop dead in my tracks. And because I'm thinking, how do we get out of this? How do we change all of this? What is the mechanism to change all of this without, you know, revolution or whatever? And I stopped dead in my tracks, and I looked up, and I actually laughed out loud, which is not something people look at in New York. You're kind of used to people doing that. And I look up, and I thought to myself, our founding fathers were genius. The secret is right there. Did you ever see the movie A National Treasure?
The cheesy one with...
Oh, I loved it. You can be cheesy. Yeah, Nicolas Cage. Okay, so
I'm waiting for the sequel.
All right. So anyway, I'll talk down to me some more. So anyway, you know, that one has on the back of the document,
right,
and they have to wear the special glasses. Yeah. Our founding fathers didn't go to all that trouble. They were smarter than that. They knew that it would be not noticed for a very long time. When they wrote the Constitution, they put the secret right there. And they knew people would overlook it until it was time for them to see it. They didn't. It's not like when they started writing the Constitution, somebody come up and said, hey, James, you're using too big of a font. You might want to make that smaller. The answer is we the people. And they made those three words huge for a reason. Because they knew at some point that we would be co-opted by special interests, that the parties would tear us apart. George Washington talked about it a lot. They would tear us apart and we'd lose our way. So where is the map back to the way we should be? We, the people. When we recognize that we're not powerless, when we stop listening to the people tell us that we're so different from each other, oh, you'll hate that person's bad. When we stop listening to that and we start talking to each other and we start realizing, holy cow, you know, I disagree with you on policy, but on principles, we're both Americans. We love America. We want to move forward. We'll solve everything we need to solve.
We're going to be right back with some final thoughts from Glenn.